Uh, Hi, good evening, everyone. We are very new to technology. Things are changing for all of us. The world has shrunk into a little mobile in your hand. And people who are old school of thought like me, we are so much used to the traditional way of working that it is a bit of a challenge to actually adapt ourselves on the digital platform. So it's the first time that I'm trying this particular platform of StreamYard, and we are still testing. I hope that you will all be able to see us and you will all be able to ask questions and we will be able to answer. We started a little early as a test note, but I have a phobia that in case I stop, then maybe I lose this broadcast. So I'm not going to do that. We are about 10 minutes early, but I think it's all the more wonderful for all of you to have 10 more minutes of Captain Shalini. So before I begin, let me introduce Captain Shalini to you. I'm very proud that she's an army veteran as well. So Captain Shalini Singh is a proud Indian army veteran, inspirational speaker, soft skills trainer, and the best part is she is Mrs. India 2017. So, all those people who are wanting to get into pageants, and especially the married ladies, you can have a really one on one conversation with her. Ask anything you want to, and I'm sure she'll be gracious enough to answer the questions to you. She's been honored with Mrs. Savita Kovind, who is the president's wife, and Indian Army. She has won many coveted awards like Veer Nari Samman Puraskar by Government of India, Epic Award 2018, citations of honors by Lions Club, All India Achievers Award, Women of Courage Award by International Human Rights Council, and Women of the Year 2018 by Newspaper Association of India. But I'm sure the profile which I'm holding in my hand is a slightly outdated one. Between 2018, she has achieved much, much more. And we would want to hear it right from her own words. And she has covered a remarkable journey from an ordinary girl to an army officer to winning the title of Mrs. India. And now she's stepped into the world of politics. And she's going to be one of those empowered women who's going to empower the other women in India. So she's actively involved into various social causes related to slum children, cancer support, animal welfare, and supporting war widows. She is a regular speaker at various platforms, and she was taken as a face of Indian Army. Wow, in the campaign. And do you have it in you? And she has also been associated with various campaigns as brand ambassador for Mrs. Rajasthan, Mom and Me, jury for So Many Talents, and featured in Republic TV as Heroes of India. Primary topics of our sessions are normally overcoming adversities, setbacks, success, achieving what you think, and a lot more. So, everybody and anybody who's watching us, you are going to have a treat today evening while you have this one on one conversation with the Captain Shalini Singh. So, without further ado, and with a lot of applause, let me welcome Captain Shalini Singh on the screen. So, Captain Shalini Singh, yeah, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Shalini Singh on screen. Welcome, welcome, Captain Shalini. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be here. We at Natter Chatter That Matters really welcome you. I know it's a very rhyming and a difficult tongue twister, but I specifically kept this name because we are going to talk a lot about pageants as well. And in pageants, when you communicate, sometimes your voice is not very clear. So you use tongue twisters to open up your tongue. So that is why the name is Natter Chatter That Matters. So thank you once again for being here. So Captain Shalini Singh, let me begin by asking you a few questions. Uh, let's begin with something very recent which is happening in your life. So from we will go back to their journey from army officer to pageants, but what exactly are you doing presently?
First of all, my sincere thanks and regards to you, ma'am, for inviting me on your show. I'm really honored to be with a person like you who has given
Thank
me screen space on your channel. It's really a matter of honor for me. Thanks a
thank
lot, and thanks. I'm really honored. Thank you. And now coming to, and all those who are listening to me, very good evening to all of you. Ma'am's question, can you repeat, ma'am? I
Yeah,
just was saying so much, I forgot.
the question is, I want to start it with a happy note for women who are watching us. So what are you doing presently? We are very excited to know. I'm not going to tell, so you are going to tell everyone.
Okay. So what I'm doing is totally, it is like totally unexpected. It was unexpected for me, for my family, for my well-wishers, friends, because when I took this decision, few were very happy, few were very shocked, few were not believing it, and it is a very challenging field of our country, especially for women. So I decided to join our to be part of Indian political system, and I took this plunge in. I decided to be part of it in March 2019, and I just gave it a 1 week thought, and I really don't know why this thought came, but I was working so much for social causes, and somehow I felt that I'm not able to do much of work. I'm not able to broaden my horizon, and to do that, I have to be part of the political system. And you won't believe that I was a completely apolitical person. I had no interest in how things are in politics. It is just that though I am a political science student, so I know how the political setup is. And currently, I am with the Aam Aadmi Party, and I'm very proud of that I am with them. I was when I took this plunge, I just was not sure whether how I'm going to. I thought I'll give myself 365 days, and that is how I cut it in the calendar each day, that I will give 365 days to this political system. And if I'm able to do it, and I'm able to understand, and I'm able to sail through it, I will continue my journey. And I am very happy to say today that I've completed 2 years successfully, and I'm still going very strong. And in these 2 years, the Aam Aadmi Party, the party which is led by our Delhi CM, Sri Arvind Kejriwal ji, he has given me a lot of honor. And, yeah, I have become uh, now I am a municipal corporator nominated, and I'm joint secretary for Delhi Women Wing Aam Aadmi Party, and I'm also party spokesperson where I do debates on behalf of party on all the leading channels of our Indian news channels. So that is all I'm trying to do, and aim to be part of this profession. Was I don't call it a profession, I take it as a social service, and just to help more people with having more connect and being more empowered. If I will have few powers in my own hand, I'll be able to reach out to more people. So that is all my journey is all about. It is, I will definitely say it's very challenging, but it is
I
very,
know.
it is not a it's not a cakewalk. I'll definitely say with all the things I've done, this one is, I think, the most challenging, but it is the most satisfying. And if you do your work honestly, and if you are sure what you are doing, I think I think I'm very happy what I'm doing.
Wow, wow. I'm sure all those who are watching us would really get inspired. You know, a woman holding the hand of another woman. Unfortunately, you know, what I have seen in life is कि औरत ही औरत की दुश्मन होती है. But here we have an example where a lady is actually going to hold the hand of other ladies and help them in whichever best capacity she can. You are already an inspiration. And with this joining of politics, you have really raised the notch higher for your own self, being an influencer so that people look up to you as role model and follow your footsteps. That's really wonderful, and I wish you all the best. Maybe we see you as the head of the government here in India one day.
Thank
And
you
that
so
will
much.
be a very proud moment for all of us, because you never know where life takes you. Hard work always gives you results, and I have seen your journey right from day one. And the way the graph has gone up, by God's grace, touch wood, is something which is really a great story for people to see, inspire, and know that nothing is impossible if you really want to do something in life. So coming back to the second part, that is the pageants. How did pageant happen? I mean, like, was it there in your mind one day, मैं बनूंगी? You know, every girl has this big dream to wear crown one day. So ये एक सपना था, or it happened all of a sudden one day?
Uh, this pageant is also like extremely special in my life, and I am extremely grateful that take I have taken that path also. And just like my political journey, the pageant also happened just like that. And I never thought that I can walk the ramp with a crown on my head. It just happened that I've never as you said, ma'am, that girls always have a desire to have the crown. And so
Yeah.
deep down, I think when I was in my school or in my just started my college or something, so girls have that desire to wear beautiful dresses and get ready and all. So I always had those desire. I will not deny that. But at the same time, my life had taken a lot of turbulence and a different kind of journey I was heading on. So I couldn't really work towards that. And uh, I got into army, and that is a totally non-glamorous profession. Then I got into corporate world, another non-glamorous profession where you are only working on PPTs and completing your
Yes.
target. Hardly any time to look yourself in the mirror. So, and this was one pageant was one where you are working on yourself, not just on your external features. It is that you are also working on your internal features.
True.
And so this was suggested to me by my best friend that why don't you take part in Mrs. India? And I was like, really, like, who will even let me take part in it? That was my self doubt that and you won't believe, like, I had never put any makeup and anything before coming to pageants. And like once I got selected, that is the first time I bought my makeup and everything. And it was just that it happened, and the thought sat with me, and I said, it's just one life, why should I not try it? And winning or losing is not important for me. For me, it is important that you put in your sincere efforts, you give your best, and whatever is meant for you, you will get it.
True.
So I gave my best, and I really worked hard because for me it was everything was new, from doing catwalk I had never done. Even during the pageant, I had walked like a stick. I was not a very. I only learned what it was taught on those grooming days. During those 5 6 days we were there. But it was a really like in my training days in academy, what I learned. I think the pageant also polished me in a lot of ways, and the army training gave me a lot of mental strength. So I will say this pageant and the experience of those 5 days and the 3 4 months or 5 months which we prepared ourselves for that pageant, that completely again transformed me. And I believe that a person can be glamorous also, and a person can be non-glamorous also. One person can decide what they want to be and how they want to choose it. It
That's true.
is
That's
up
true.
to us.
True. True.
And what
In
is more
fact,
important,
yeah, carry on, please.
so, and one thing what I have strongly believed in, whatever I've done in life, that I don't compete with anybody. I think I'm my own competition. I just have to work on myself. And because we all are, nobody is perfect, and I think we have so many imperfections that if we try work on ourselves, we can be stand winner for our own self. So
Wow, that's such a strong statement. I am my own competition. So, ladies and gentlemen, what a strong statement. I am my own competition. I'm not in competition with anyone else. And Shalini is very true when she says that pageant is a self-discovery journey. You get to understand your weaknesses, you get to understand your strengths, and you start working on them. So, Shalini, you said you did not take any kind of a training for pageants. You just took those 5 days of grooming, which was provided to you by the organization.
uh,
So, when you were there for those that training, when you entered there, you must have seen so many other women, pretty ones. So, what kind of a feeling came in you when you saw them? Because normally when girls go and they see, because we are always underestimating ourselves, we are always thinking we are not worth it. Somewhere or the other, we are always underestimating ourselves. So when we see somebody pretty, or when we see somebody walking well, maybe somebody talking well, somewhere or the other we get intimidated, and our confidence level goes down. Did it happen with you also?
uh, so it's a very normal human psychology, right? That you get overwhelmed when you see a lot of things which you feel are very nice, but when you take a closer look, you feel that you are no less. It's
Yeah.
just that how you want to perceive. Before I say anything, I would definitely say I met you during those 5 days, and I really wished and hoped had I met you earlier, and I would have definitely took the training under you and got there. So my some confidence level would have been more. And I did not take any training from anywhere because I was working, being into corporate. Work was very demanding. I used to leave home at 8 in the morning and coming back was very late. So I hardly used to get Saturdays and Sundays. So I just used to with the help of my friend, I only did a talent round. I did a dance number
Okay.
because I'm
Okay.
not a dancer, so I had to just took this thing. And you won't believe that at one point of time, I told my friend that I will withdraw my application because I can't dance and I don't want to make a mockery of myself on a national platform. And she was
Okay.
like, "You have done so much, and for a 2 minute talent round, you will withdraw. We will do it." And I practice for that definitely at home, like whenever I used to get time. And I started living in my heels at home. I used to go to the washroom also in heels and pencil heels and stilettos, whatever. In the home, I was moving all the time in my heels to practice myself because my leg has some injury and it was not possible for me to be there for 5 days with those heels. And that was one thing. Yes, I did. That was the self training I did. And in the pageant, when you ask me that how being seeing other girls, seeing other, there is no denying that we had extremely talented and beautiful girls from all across the globe who had come for the participation. So when I met them, it is, as I said, yeah, you get overwhelmed. But that was a very momentary thought for me, and then I just thought about me, that what I have done, who am I, and why I'm here. I'm just here to enjoy this experience. I'm just here to groom myself more. I'm just here to learn from others, and I'm just here to see how this entire thing is. And from that point of time, I was not bothered how the other person is looking, what are they wearing, are their shoes better than mine, is their dress better than mine. And they all knew so much of good makeup and everything I did not knew. I learned my makeup also there in the pageant. During the grooming session we were taught makeup also, so I learned everything there. And I'm so glad that whatever I've learned there, I'm able to carry on with all these things. So I will definitely say it's not. It's good to be aware about your competition around you. We can't say that we can just close eyes, but don't get threatened. Don't. There's no need to get scared or by whatever is around you. Because if we have that confidence that we are not less than them, then there's no need to be scared. And I definitely don't believe to feel that I am better than them, because that will give me that feeling of ego, and that I am the best. So that can also spoil my things. So I always believe if I am not less, then I am better. I am
True,
equal to them. It is very
true.
important to keep our feet grounded. The moment we feel that we are the best and nobody is like me, from then you are going towards downward. You're taking a downward journey. It's very important to always remember that you can always have to work on yourself to be the best.
True. So I so agree with you that you work on yourself, because if you are scared of the competition, if you are scared about looking at others and how I would look in front of them, somewhere or the others you've already lost your battle. So when you get into a pageant, always go without any expectations. Just go with the feeling, I am going to learn something new. So it's going to be a new experience. Don't look at the destination, enjoy the journey. Because if you just focus on that destination, somewhere or the other, all these thoughts will get into you and they will actually hamper your progress ahead. And as she said, that best is to work on your own self. So if you feel that there is something lacking in you, work on that. And believe me, there's nobody who's perfect. There's no one perfect out there. All the girls who come there, none of them are 100% perfect, but they have learned to hide their flaws and bring out their best. And that's exactly what you need to do. You are perfect in your own imperfections. Just go there without any fear, without any expectations, and enjoy the journey. And when you're relaxed, your performance also goes up. Well, that is actually something which you have done, and I have seen it with my own eyes. I remember when I had come down there for the grooming class, and you definitely stood out in the class. You know, when I was interacting with everyone, you definitely stood out with your self confidence. And at that time I had a gut feeling that maybe I will see you as one of the winners. I wasn't sure whether it'll be absolutely the biggest winner of the classic category. Many of you would want to know what is classic category. So I would want everyone who's watching us to understand that when you go for Mrs. India, if you cross age 40, you get into the classic category. People who are below 40 get into the regular category. So I think she had just touched her 40th year or something, and that's how she went into the classic category. A lot of people are very scared with the question answer round. व्हेन यू गो फॉर अ पेंट, अच्छा मैम इंट्रोडक्शन भी हो जाएगी, वॉक भी हो जाएगी, क्या पूछेंगे? सो हाउ डिड यू प्रिपेयर फॉर दैट क्वेश्चन आंसर राउंड?
Wow. Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, I was also a little bit skeptical that because first of all, walking the ramp was also first time experience, and then moving on to the head ramp was very scary. It's like the moment I used to reach the head ramp for every round, I used to just turn back fast. That I don't know why that fear was there on the head ramp. I think it's very normal for people who are walking the ramp for the first time,
Right.
and then going blank. I think it's again very normal for, because we are not professionals there. We are from different field, and we're just gone and we're trying to understand and learn. So I was scared that what they will ask and whether I will be able to quickly answer or not answer, or whether my answer will make. What is important is what I am speaking should make sense. So what I did was I did whenever I used to get time from office, I used to read a lot of questions what all over the globe are, whether it is Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss Earth, whatever pageants we are having across the globe. What questions are being thrown, and more or less I saw that it is about. Empathy, more how compassion, or as a woman, what how we perceive things, how we look at the bigger picture of anything. Uh, Most of the questions were according to those. So I used to read the answers also what they have written, and but it is very important that I don't copy the answers and I should have my own thought process.
True,
So
true.
whichever answer I used to like, I used to just read about that particular participant, that who is she, what is her life, and why she has this thought process. And slowly I could understand that. if I am being thrown this kind of question, what my answer is going to be. Because it's very important not to copy. I'm not there standing there to copy anybody's answer, because it is not, then I am not myself. I'm not being true to my own self.
True.
And this is how with every question I used to put it on to me, on my life, my journey, and then I used to frame the answer. And that is how I was able to understand that how to take the question. And but the question which was asked to me was a totally different question, which was not anywhere in my homework which I had done. So I did take some time to answer, and it is very important that we should not be in a hurry to answer. Like I took like 5 to 8 seconds to uh, speak the question within my own self what I had been asked, because it is very important to first my mind should know what I have been asked, and then I should prepare the answer. So most of the time, I still, whenever I get time, I follow the pageants. So I see that it is very important that we are not in a hurry to answer, and think about what we have to answer, and it should relate to my own self. I am not answering anything which is just because I have to just show off something. If I like, I am very inspired by the answers which our Miss Universe Shushmita Sen had given in her final round.
Right.
She has so well connected with that journey. What she spoke in when she was 18 and what she is today when she is in her 40s, she has connected it so well. So that is what it means to me. So any candidate, any participant who is answering, they should be uh, meaning it from their heart that what they're answering, because your journey is being followed, people are seeing you, and in social media time, everybody knows who is doing what and who is how they're carrying on with their journey. So if you are faking anything, then you are not being honest to your own self.
Very true.
That
Very true.
is my advice to everybody who is listening.
Absolutely. Because, see, ladies and gentlemen who are watching us, when Sushmita Sen answered the question, she was talking about women empowerment. And how she is actually a very good example of women empowerment when she is adopted two girls, women, babies who are girls, and she's actually looking after them and doing so much to empower them and the other women who are there, doing a lot of social work as well. So whatever you say on the stage should prove to be the fact which you're going to follow. But if you on the stage saying all kinds of XYZ big things and you don't follow them, then people do not connect with you and you lose out on your credibility. So it's important. And very true when Captain Shalini said that do not copy anybody else's answer, because if you copy, the judges are not fools. They have also gone through those same videos which you are going through, and they know exactly what you are doing. So even if you're getting an idea from a question, tweak it in your own words, put in your own words, but don't copy word to word. Tweak it to your own way and then answer. Because of course questions वगैरह एक ही होते होंगे. Um, I don't know whether this question is relevant or not, or whether would you want to answer this. It says, "Good evening, ma'am. I want to know what's the significance of bikini round its Miss India." Would you like to answer this question, or should I answer this?
Whatever
I
you
think
say, ma'am.
एक ओपिनियन आपका तो बनता है भाई. आप भी मिसेस कैटेगरी के विनर हैं.
So when I participated in Mrs. India, so Bikini round was not here, but when I went for the international pageant, we had Bikini round there, and so I was not very sure whether I should wear bikini or not. But then my family said definitely you should go ahead, and why not? And I went ahead with that. And bikini round is something like if you think that you are walking in a bikini, it will become a big thing. I thought I'm walking in a jeans and t-shirt, and my bikini round, for which I was more scared the most, went out the best. And I got the most impressive walk in my bikini.
Wow, wow.
This thing. So I think it is again it is what you're wearing should not be on your mind. You should be comfortable in your own skin. I say so. Your outfit doesn't matter if you're not comfortable in your own skin.
True, true. शगुन, आपका क्वेश्चन है about Miss India, and let me clarify, Miss India में कोई bikini round नहीं होता. Since 2017 they have removed what Nishant is answering your question in the next thing, that in 2017 bikini round was removed from Miss India, so there is no bikini round in Miss India. However, the bikini round is there in Miss Universe. And what is the significance of bikini round is that how comfortable you are with your own skin. Moreover, you are an influencer. So when you are fit, when you are confident, when you are absolutely comfortable with your own skin, you are sending out a message to the other women that they can also be comfortable in their own skin, as well as to look after their body and be fit all the time. Because we are all born exactly the same way. It's how we look after our bodies that separates us. So there are a lot of message out there in the bikini round, but for Miss India there is no bikini round. Captain Shalini, one question everybody would want to know: how did you feel? This is one question a lot of people ask. How did you feel when the crown was laid on your head?
Yeah, it's like day before yesterday only we celebrated our 4th anniversary of winning the crown, and so till date, whenever I think of that moment, it gives me goosebumps because it's so fresh in my mind, and I think it's a very very cherishable moment. So as I said, that for me, I was neither sure nor unsure whether I will win it or not. So I will not say that I was standing there 100% sure, or I was standing there 100% unsure about the win. So I was just standing because we were tired also since morning, standing on the ramp, doing so many rounds. So I was standing very casually. They're announcing the names, and so suddenly, my name was announced, and I was still standing. So the girl standing next to me, she's like, "Your name is going announced. Go, go! You are the winner." I was like, Really?" And uh, I think it's the best moment, and I'm thankful to everybody who made it possible. All my judges, groomers, coaches like you, and my family, friends. Uh, it was one of the best moments. Like the way I got commissioned and got my stars, it was something. It is same. I think it is the same thing for me.
Wow.
I can't. I have no two thoughts about it. I
And
did
and what
what.
was the first thing? What was the first thing you did after wearing the crown?
Uh, what did the because we spent a lot of time at the stage. Definitely, when I came back to my room, I had told my friends who were there for that evening. I don't know whether I lose or win. Once I come back, I should have butter chicken and cake in my room because I had really been on a very
Strict diet.
strict diet for 6 months, and and my friends they were so sweet. When I reached my room with the crown, the first thing I ate was a big chunk of chocolate cake, and yeah, and I cried a lot. Yeah,
I can
in my
imagine.
room.
I can imagine all the emotions coming out. Um, there are two, three questions which are actually not very relevant to Mrs. India. What are the total expenses spent in Miss India? I think it applies to you as well. Mrs. India में भी थोड़ा बहुत खर्चा तो होगा. The
थोड़ा
only
नहीं,
difference
हो
is
जाता है.
आपके लिए इसलिए हो जाता है because Mrs. India is a paid platform, whereas Miss India is a non paid platform. कि जब आप एक बार finalist हो जाते हैं Miss India में, and when you go as a finalist, then you don't have to spend anything. Everything is spent to on you by the organization, that is Times of India. That happens in Miss India. लेकिन बिफोर यू बिकम अ फाइनलिस्ट, तो आपके शूज पे, मेकअप पे, कपड़ों पे खर्चा होगा. जोनल राउंड तक आपका खर्चा होगा, उसके बाद में इट इज ऑल थ्रू मिस इंडिया. एंड मिसेस इंडिया ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज एन एंट्री फी. आप थोड़ा सा इसका एक्सपेंसेस बताएं, फिर मैं एक्सप्लेन करूंगी उसके बारे में.
Yeah. So
मिसेस
definitely, ma'am. Yeah. So as you said, कि Miss India में खर्चा once you are the final in the finals, they it is all sponsored. But I believe कि finals में पहुंचने तक की journey के लिए भी आपको prepare करना पड़ता है. Like I missed out on a good coach. If I had a good coach, I could have taken some more grooming tips and some more tips where I could have been walked much in a much flexible way on the ramp. And there are many other things if you want to do. You want to learn a lot of integrities before going there and stand out. So in Mrs. India, I think there are a lot of Mrs. India pageants which are happening. The one which I participated, we had a registration fees of, I think in my time it was some 75,000. And besides that, we have our clothes, jewelry, makeup, which is up to us how much we want to spend, or if we are able to find a sponsor. So I was lucky that the company which I was working, they sponsored my lot of things even when I went for the international pageant. And so, if you are lucky enough and if you are able to find a designer, or whether it is a jewelry designer or a fashion designer who wants their clothes to be shown in a pageant, you can always collaborate with them. It is again, I think, more of it is a networking, ma'am, that how you can network, how good your social relations are with people. And it is very important that in this industry, it is very important that we keep a good connect, and we keep a good behavior also. Arrogance never pays, so people will only speak to you. People will only because there are a lot of people. There's a lot of competition, and you are not the only one there. So again, the expenses totally depend on you, how much you want to spend.
Yeah.
So definitely we pay for the fee, and for me then after that my everything was sponsored. My dresses, my whatever I bought, my shoes, my jewelry, my makeup, everything was taken care of. So that is,
Um,
I'm thankful to God.
right, right. To add to what Captain Chalini said, a lot of people ask why so much of fee has to be paid, the admission fee. That is because they will keep you in a five-star hotel for 3 days. Your meals are going to be there, your shoots are going to be there, and it does cost a lot of money to the organization. So they charge a bit from you, and rest they arrange for their own self. So the fee is very valid. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि fee नहीं लगती. Secondly, if you think that if you can find a sponsor, as Captain Shalini did, that will really help you. If not, you can always beg, borrow from your friends who are of your own size, and you can always manage to be in a competition with your clothes, with the right clothes which are required for the competition. So another question is, how guide how to start your preparation for Miss India if you are from a small town. Beta, for that I would suggest join my uh, this YouTube
Definitely.
channel. You will find a lot of videos there which will really help you. And also you can buy my book from the from Amazon, and this also has a lot of information which will help you. So, ma'am,
So
I always yes.
I studied your book before going for my international pageant. Because
Okay.
I took this book after winning my pageant and then going for international pageant. I completed this book and then I went, and I really it helped me a lot. No doubts about.
Thank you. Thank
I still have a copy of the book.
you. So that's a great testimonial for everyone that the book really helped her. So I'm sure it's going to help you too. Thank you, Shalini, for appreciating that. So, ma'am, I always wanted to be a part of Miss India or Universe Federation, but can you please clear my mind with this? How these kind of rounds lead to women empowerment and feminism, as ultimately it's as ultimately uh, its style is this only. So far as I believe, is clothes are something which gives us a sense of security, and because of these kind of rounds, many parents do not support their daughters. So, do you have anything to say on this?
Ma'am, so I somehow agree to her that a lot of parents do get skeptical, even if the girls want to go to Bollywood or fashion industry. Uh, so it may be more in Miss India. In Mrs. India, what happens is you are in a more secure position. You have husband who you can manipulate, and you are more independent where you can find your own way. For Miss India, I totally agree because a lot of girls have connected with me also, and they have said the same thing. And the girls coming from small towns, they definitely face this problem. But I hear what I would say not only to the girls but to the parents, that I also am from a very small town, a place called Jaunpur, which is 40 kilometers ahead of Varanasi, and I had lost my husband, and being a widow, my parents still supported me, and they supported my journey. They believed in my journey, and when we had that question of bikini round, I was not sure because my in-laws are there. I had covered my head in front of my in-laws, and then walking in a bikini, they'll see. I was very unsure, but believe you, ma'am, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, they're so proud of me that, and they said I'm mother-in-law of Mrs. India. You wear whatever you want. We are with you. So we have to first make our family believe that what we are wanting to do, and you have to have that confidence in your own self. And I think times have changed. Parents are now understanding. Girls from small towns are doing really good things. They are making big, and we have a lot of examples of females, whether we take from the sports industry, whether we take it from fashion industry, from Bollywood. So it is very important for girls to speak to their parents, because I will never say that fight and find a way, because family support is very important. A lot of people do deny family support and move out alone, but after some time it becomes very stressful. So, and I think all parents are now understanding. And now, as you told, that bikini round is also not there in Miss India. It is not even there in Mrs. India also. So I think then the dresses which we are wearing is very decent, and it is up to us how we want to keep it. So, and there is then I see no reason that anybody has to deny.
True, true. And I would also say that best is to carry yourself with dignity wherever you go. Because if you carry yourself with dignity, no one will point finger at you. Okay, but if you don't carry yourself with dignity, then definitely you get into a lot of controversies. So best is to carry yourself with dignity so that nobody can ever raise a finger at you. And whatever is the rules and regulation of the pageants, we have to follow. So if you are not comfortable with bikini round, then best is to not go for that pageant. Go for a pageant where you are comfortable. And clothes don't matter in a pageant. What matters is how you behave, how you carry. So I think enough of pageants, and because we are actually taking a lot of time of Captain Shalini, one question which I'll answer, somebody's written is, um, she says that. Who will provide for the pageant gown? To this, I would say depends from organization to organization. Maybe for Miss India and all, it will be provided by the designer. But for certain other pageants which are not at a very big level, you might have to wear your own gowns. So it depends from organization to organization.
And
So
also,
now
like I
coming
said, they can collaborate and find their own local designers. We have a lot of
yes,
local designers. You can collaborate and
true. True, true. You will have to get to them and they will help you out, or ask your friends, they will help you out. So, coming to a very important part of your life, I normally do not like to go back to the past. This is something which I have been teaching people never to turn back. But there are certain things in our past which are so deeply rooted that they become a part of our present as well. And in your case, Captain Shalini, you have had a past which is very very painful, yet you had the resilience to come out of it. I can imagine any other girl, you were so very young. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly had happened with Captain Shalini. She was just, I think, 24 years old, or 23, if I'm not too sure. Her husband was fighting in the Kargil war, where he was shot by the terrorists, and unfortunately, she lost him at very young age when she had only a 2-year-old child. Can you imagine somebody who's so young and losing her husband? I'm sure anybody who will be hit by this tragedy will give up on life, will actually won't know what to do. But look at her. Her journey is something which will really inspire you. So, Captain Shalini, I'm sorry to be touching this part of your life. It pains me to ask you this question, but I'm sure this question is going to inspire a lot of people out there. Can you please tell us what exactly happened and how did you come out of it? And how did you join the Indian Army?
Um, so, ma'am, as you said that I lost him in 2001 in a terrorist encounter. He did shoot four terrorists, but I think in the bargain he was also shot, and I couldn't meet him. He like when he was brought dead to us. So I was 23 when I lost him, and I had a 1.5 year old child. So, as you said, it is very difficult, and especially in our Indian culture, where girls are the male member of the family is your. It becomes like karta dharta, and they will decide everything, and you have. And when you are not working, you're dependent. I was a student that time. I was pursuing my post graduation when I lost my husband. And also, what happens is when once such things happen, you are entirely taken over by your relatives, your well wishers. They are thinking good about you, but at the same time, they will completely uh, hover over your thinking process, and you will not be left with your own thinking. So I went through that dilemma because since I was very young and I was completely dependent on my husband, and before getting married, I was dependent on my father. So I had always seen a very shadowed life with a male member, whether it was my father or my brother or my husband. And when I lost my husband, I was not financially independent. So all those things really bothered me, and so finances was not important. What was bothering me was that how will I survive alone? How will I take care of this child? Because the life which I had thought was that husband is there, he will take care of everything, and I just have to study and take care of the house. And if I want to work, I can work. Otherwise, it's not important for me to work. Uh, but for some time, which I feel very bad when I today see myself where I'm sitting, a symbol, an icon of strength. That time, I did lose that strength. I did not have that strength, and I did think of giving up on life, quitting my life. But I think my child gave me that strength that I have. He is not at fault. He has lost his father, and he can't afford to lose his mother. And even I went to the extent of thinking whether I should take him also with me. But I was so mentally weak for some time. When I say sometime, it was like just week 10 days. I just was weak for that much time, and then one fine day I just got up and I thought, no, I can't cry like this. I can't let my son get into that kind of. He has not seen anything, and it's our responsibility. If we have given birth to him, we have given a life to him. Uh, it is our responsibility to show that word is all not that bad. And since my husband had a lot of dreams for him and for us, then I thought it is I will join the army. This thought was given to me by his colleagues, and I was very unsure because I was physically very weak. I was mentally very weak, but at that point of time, I had no other road. I was sitting at a dead end, and if I'm taking this path of joining the army, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to ace, but there's no harm in not trying. I might be able to ace because where I was sitting, I had already closed all my options for living a life. And once I went, it was just less than 2 months of my husband's demise that I went for my SSB exam, which was again supposed to be one of the toughest exams of Indian our country. And I just had no other thought in my mind, and it was like I have to clear the exam. And then there is no one bothered whether you've lost your husband just now, or you are a wife of a martyr, or your husband has done something so big and wrong. Because when you're giving SSB, those things don't matter. It is only your capability, your talent. Because when a terrorist will come in and stand in front of me, and I am not that capable, he will not. Be nice with me because my husband has done something for the nation. So I have to be equally good as any other candidate there, or I have to be an officer, so I have to have that quality. So it was a very difficult journey. I'm not denying that. It was extremely crucial 1 year of my life where I passed my SSB. I did my academy training. Academy training was uh, very difficult, beyond my mental and physical capability. But thanks to again to my instructors, my postmates, my family, and somehow, somewhere, I always had that belief in me that my husband is there. He's pushing me. He's pushing me. He's pushing me, and I could do that. And after that journey, I have never looked back. It is not that I don't cry, ma'am. It's again a human psychology. I cry today also. I miss him today also. Uh, I am weak today also. I get weak many times today also. But whenever I'm stuck anywhere, I just see my journey for being in the army, doing that training, how much strength that is given to me. And that then I know that if I have come from there, I have lived that life, then nothing is that impossible. In a way, I say that I've defeated death. I was thinking of giving up on life. So if I've defeated this, then what else is there? Also, what is very important for me is one that now I believe that is extremely important for every girl. That please be financially independent first. Marriage can wait. Uh, our problem in our country is that the financial independence of girls are not given importance. It is not. Uh, they are not being taught as breadwinner. And after losing my husband, till date, it's been 20 years, I am the breadwinner of the family. So it is very important that we should not have the thought that my man will earn. Let him earn. You should not have anything to do with this. You should have your own income where you can take care of yourself, whether you have a man, whether you don't have. So it is very important that we change our mindset. It is for us to change our mindset. So every girl I meet, I tell her, please don't get married first, get financially independent because I have gone through that experience. And once you are financially independent, a lot of things changes for you. And you are, if you are a mother, you can give a better life to your children. You don't have to depend on anybody. You don't have to, like, you don't have to negotiate what you want to do, what you want to buy, what you want to buy. So
True.
every girl, whether whatever your dream is, whatever your passion is, please be financially independent in whatever field you choose. Don't be of the thought that I am a girl, हमारी तो शादी हो जाएगी, पति कमाएगा, पैसे वाला होगा, तो काम चल जाएगा. Please don't have those thoughts. That's a very, very scary thought. I don't call it a very nice thought. I call these thoughts as very scary thoughts. The girls
True.
have to change their thought process.
Wow, that's such a deep advice. All the girls who are watching, stand on your feet first. Don't be in a hurry to marry. Stand on your feet first. Be financially independent. That's the message we are getting from Captain Shalini Sharma, who's not talking in the air. She has gone through it. She understands this journey and she knows how important it is to be financially independent. So, hats off to you, Captain Shalini Singh. You are a woman who's strong, not only from the body, but also mind and the soul. And I think I personally salute you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sure
Thank
each and every person who will be watching this live after it goes up on the digital media will really get inspired by your journey from being an innocent girl, a housewife, to facing such a big tragedy in life, thinking of giving up in life, having the courage to join the Indian Army, and then followed by the corporate life, getting into to become one of the influencers as Mrs. India, and now entering politics to help and empower women. So it is quite a journey, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of list lying in front of you. As they say, um, uh, there are miles to go before you sleep and miles to go before you sleep. I wish you all the very best for your future. And I'm sure in coming years, we'll meet again with more of your achievements. And
you.
you will definitely inspire a lot of women and gentlemen who are out there and who think that women are a weaker sex, so they would understand how strong a woman can be when she really decides to be strong. Thank you very much for coming on the show. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And I look forward to see you once again at the other side of Corona. Till then, stay safe, stay positive, and keep everyone safe in your family and follow the rules. Who am I to say you are from the government? I think that should be your message. May I request you for the last message for everyone?
Yeah. First of all, thanks a lot again for having me on your show. And I also look up to you as my inspiration because I believe that our coaches, we learn a lot from our coaches, and you are one of the leading coaches of our country right now. And it's really important that we keep learning from your journey and the journey of the coaches who have. Or I'm sure you would have really had a journey which we all can learn from. And again, I would like to advise everybody that please stay safe, stay home if you don't have anything, because this time it is really deadly. It is very bad. It is not looking at any age. It is starting from a 3-month-old child to a 80 to 90-year-old person, and it is affecting your family, your organs. So please stay safe, wear your mask, and please follow whatever the government is saying. It's easy to criticize the government all the time, but we have to take the responsibility most of the time. The government is doing their part, we have to do our part. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you.
And thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.